Craig from Texas City has a question about a shiplap roof.
Well, he's replacing it. It's on a 1950 home, as you could well imagine.
Yes.
Craig writes, I want to get rid of the shiplap because it's leaking. And the roofing company said that this is pretty normal for that age and with nail pop-ups and so on. And they want to leave the shiplap on and sheathe right over it. But my concern, he says, is that the extra weight is going to be hard on the house. So, Tom, Craig wants your opinion. Should he rip it off and redeck or go over the shiplap?
Actually, it's an intuition people have, like when they put something in a house, is it too heavy? That's called a dead load. It's not a big deal. Think about it more of those guys walking on the roof. That's much more harmful to your structure, and it handles it fine. That shiplap, back then in the 50s, they didn't use a lot of bracing, and they undersized their members, which would be, in this case, rafters, because they use that as a structural sheathing. You got to leave it on. If you have a few pieces need to be replaced, you can replace it with some planking, same thickness, it'll be fine, but go over the top of it. Tar paper. They can use a half-inch plywood deck, which is going to be fine. I would use plywood, not OSB board, and then go ahead and put your new roof on, but don't give it a second thought. Leave it on there. It is structurally part of the building.
I think about the same thing with that kind of building. It's almost like a balloon, the way they built that house. Because like you said, those houses back then, people take the siding off and don't realize that now they've really messed with the integrity of the house.
Well, if you go back even further, they would shiplap both sides of the walls, because in those walls you have a little stud here, a little stud there, and that's it. So they would lay them on the grounds, they'd lay the shiplap down and put it on the wood members only for nailing and hold it together, so the house was actually held up by the shiplap. And there's been, when I first got here, a case of a guy in the Heights who started taking it off on the inside. He's no longer with us. The house collapsed on him and killed him.
Wow.
That was a long time ago, but it's still, you got to be careful. Don't take it off.
Craig, don't mess with that shiplap.
Yeah, just
if
let him
you know what's
roof it.
good for you.
Yeah.
All right. You're looking for more information that's good for you? You can find answers just like this at HomeShowRadio.com. They're under the Ask Tom tab.